Good evening. Hey y'all. How is Babe Nation? How's Babe Nation doing tonight? Ooh, girl, it's hot. Look. This why I'm always hot, because I'm always trying to dance. Let me see y'all right now. Who down there? Who around there? Yes. Hey, Tamita. Hey, Adore Me. What it do, Lady Steph? What's up, big dog? Barn dog in the building. Valerie. Hey, Brenda. Sarconos. Sending prayers your way, my love. We moved our Zoom. I got a message about Sarconos. So we moved our Zoom to Friday because we want Sarconos to be in the building. I'm actually thinking we should probably move it to Saturday. Let me fix this little frontal right here. I actually think maybe we should move our Zoom to Saturday because Friday, girl, we be just getting off work. Okay, it's living through something in the flow, girl. And if I get up and go get it, you're going to see something. And I don't think you want to see that. Okay, so we're going to leave it over there on the floor for right now. No problem, Sarconos. We're going to move that. Let's move it to Saturday. So that way, we're not just getting off work. We won't be in no rush, and we could talk about some things around there too. The Zoom. And keep Sarconos in your prayers, Babe Nation. Absolutely. Hey, California girl. What's up, Bridget? See, when I come in this live, Valerie, and I see y'all in here, it makes me feel like I'm at home. Okay. Absolutely. I love y'all. I hope y'all had a beautiful day. Thank you, big dog. I hope y'all had a beautiful day today. It was hot. It's I don't know what around there. Okay. But we gotta talk about it because Cassie took the stand. Listen, we've been waiting. Okay. Let me calm down. I've been waiting. I have been waiting to hear from Cassie. Oh, yes, I have. And it's not over because tomorrow the prosecution gets to cross-examine Cassie. So today, her team asked her questions. So they didn't go hard on her. As a matter of fact, they did a few things that I found quite strategic, and we're going to talk about it. I left my drink over there. This girl makes this drink. Baby, it's so fine. It's all natural. It ain't nothing but lemon juice, fresh lemons, ginger, fresh ginger, and honey and water. It's my new favorite drink. Okay. Now she charges $20 for a half a gallon. But girl, when I tell you it's fire, ginger, lemon, honey, and water. It's so refreshing. And I drink it slushed up. I put it in the freezer until it gets slushy. And girl, that thing don't last around here. It don't last 2 days in this house. And it's a half a gallon. That thing is good. Okay. So the defense, she got questioned by her own team, well, wait, hold on. Who questioned her today? The who fighting Diddy? Okay, the prosecution. I'm sorry. The prosecution questioned her today. She's on their side against Diddy. Tomorrow, Diddy's team is going to ask her questions. So she's on the prosecution side, and they asked her questions. But of course, she showed up pregnant. Hey, Swag. It's so refreshing, Valerie. It's so good, girl. Oh, girl. And it's good for you. Like you could really taste the ginger. You could really taste the honey. You can really taste the lemon. Thank you, Bridget. It's so good, y'all. And I bet it will taste good with a little vodka. Absolutely. I bet it'll taste good with a little shot of something. I bet you it'll taste good. Look how much left, girl. She popped. Okay. It looked like what Diddy was. Thank you again so much, Bridget. Bridget said, my favorite news lady. Happy Tuesday, Babe Nation. Happy Tuesday, girl. Absolutely. Now, it's mighty funny that I brought this up today when Cassie testified, okay? And it's not funny, but this show looked like something that's anyway. She showed up today and she testified, and already Diddy's team don't want her husband in the courtroom. They got issues. See, they know it looks bad, okay? It already looks bad that this woman is coming to testify that she was abused and she big and pregnant. And Diddy's so controlling, he got his team talking about they don't want her husband there. Now, her husband is her support system. She met her husband while with Diddy. Her husband today was her personal trainer back then. He is her support system. I will even venture out to say that her husband encouraged her to go ahead and get those coins from Diddy. Because Cassie waited until the last minute to get Diddy. Absolutely. I believe her husband told her, girl, we could use a few mil. We could use that, honey. We trying to build a family. You have been abused by this man. We could use a few of them coins. So for him not to want her husband in there, he's a hater, okay? And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. But she came in and she testified that he was her first in a lot of things, okay? He was her first. And a lot of things she had never experienced, she experienced with his old tail. Now, I tried not to get mad at Diddy. I did. I tried to give Diddy the benefit of the doubt. But the more I listened, the more I heard about what was said today in court, the more I realized Diddy is not just a monster. Diddy is a demon. This is demonic activity. Okay? Child. She said that he started beating her, hitting her. She got up with him at age 19, I think she said. But he started hitting her at age 22, and he introduced the escorts into the relationship at age 21. 21. She was still a child. A legal baby. She was just a legal baby at 21. And he introducing men to her, flying these different randoms from different states to her to be with her, and she's a little girl. So he could sit back and watch. Okay. Now, when I heard that, my question was, where was her family? Where was her family? Where was her daddy? Where was her mama? Where was Cassie's support system while Diddy was, or were they just like them folks that R. Kelly took advantage of their families? As long as the cash was flowing, nobody had anything to say. Where in the hell was Cassie's folks? And my other question is, where are they today? Where are they at today? She's in court and all we seeing is her husband. Where's her family? I do believe that for a man to take this type of advantage of a young girl, it's some people missing. Listen, let me tell you something. I have nieces and they grown, and I'm going to be all in their business. I don't care who don't like it. They need, our young people need us in their business. Oh, she grown. Well, what is this old man flying her everywhere for? Yeah, he buying her all this stuff. But those of us who are old enough, we know none of this is coming for free. We know she paying the price. The question is, what's the price? That's where aunties and uncles and daddies them come in at. That's all nice. He's a celebrity, Cassie. You got a new man's. Yeah, he's older, but maybe we could overlook that. But at what cost? Because we don't hear you on the radio. She claimed he promised her a career. But year after year after year, we never heard nothing on the radio other than, I love to get on. I love to get you on. That's Cassie. No, no, no. I don't know the words. I can't really take no more. I love to get on. And that's all I ever heard from Cassie. She put in all that work thinking she was gonna get a career and never got it. But my thing is why she didn't have anybody around her advising her. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. I don't care if younger people in my life get mad at me and say I talk too much. I don't tell their business or nothing, but I do speak to them directly about they ish. Absolutely. I would do them a disservice to have gone through what they're going through and to be older than them and watch them go through it and not give them my very best advice. I would be doing them a disservice. But what we finding out with these celebrities is the families where money is involved, they don't care if they little sister and they little nieces and whatever selling their souls. And this is the problem. Anyway, she said that she would do these freak offs with Diddy because she knew if she didn't do it, someone else would. He could just go get somebody else to do it. She loved him. She was in love with him and she wanted him to marry her, and she was young and naive. So she detailed how she was willing to do anything. Hey, Dun Diva. I hear people keep saying she got paid. What else does she want? What people don't understand, what Cassie went through, she may never completely heal. She's there to make sure this never happens again. 100% agree, Valerie. Yep. Douglas Duran said he paid her rent also. Yeah. Yeah, he was paying cars, houses, jewelry, trips. Yeah, absolutely. And she was in love with him, and she was hoping that, one day they could be. It's easy to say what we would do at age 21 dating somebody like Diddy, but none of us have. So I give her grace because we've done stuff dumb young, but we didn't even have that extra layer that we were dealing with a millionaire or a billionaire and being young and dumb. That adds a whole nother layer because he was able to control her with those resources that he had. Absolutely. And there's that age gap. There's that age difference. That matters. That definitely matters. So anyway, I was wondering, and see, today this was strategic on Cassie's, on the prosecution side. This was very strategic right here. They presented receipts. You remember I asked y'all, I said, now, does Cassie get receipts from all the way back then to prove this stuff that they trying to charge him with? Does Cassie still have receipts? Come to find out, yes, she does. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yes, she does. Because they showed some today. This lady has held on to receipts all these years. Ooh, Diddy. See, when a woman who's been says that she's been abused holds on to receipts from over a decade ago, it makes you think maybe this wasn't just a money grab. Maybe this really has affected her. Maybe she has not been able to let it go. Maybe she deserves every dime and some. Absolutely. So, and I was waiting on this. See, I needed this. I like evidence. I like proof. I need receipts. Clock it. She brought them. And she told on herself, because in her own receipts today, her receipts showed that there were times she would reach out and ask Diddy for some. Now, she put herself on blast. She's smart enough to know that Diddy's team already has all these text messages already. So her team decided, let's go ahead and talk about it. Here's a receipt showing that you initiated it, Cassie. How are you saying he abused you, but you're initiating it? Her response is, well, I was in love with him. I knew that's what he wanted. And that was my time to be with him. Remember, he's a celebrity. He's busy flying around. But when he's ready to have a freak off, he sets aside days at a time to do that. So in her little mind, this is my time to be with him. I get to be with him for hours at a time, for days at a time. Child. So they brought that up, and that was her reason. She said that was her reason. She said, yeah, I would do that sometimes. And then there was also a receipt of Diddy asking her if she wanted the freak offs to stop, and she did not give a definitive no. Because again, being young, dumb, and in love, they knew that those receipts would make her look bad. That's why they bring it up now. Because they know that makes Cassie look bad. So they are taking us the sting out of it. Now, tomorrow, when she gets questioned by the opposite side, they're going to bring that up. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. If you hated freak off so much, why in the world would you ever initiate it? See, what they're going to have to do to make Cassie's actions make sense is bring a professional in there that can speak to the psychological damage and the mindset of a woman that's being abused. That's what they're going to have to do. That's the only way it's going to make sense. Because right now, it's looking like, Cassie, come on now. You initiated it sometimes. But on the other hand, you saying you hate it. They're going to have to bring in a professional to make it make sense. Absolutely. Because to professionals, it makes all the sense in the world. That's not weird. It doesn't mean anything. As far as proving that Cassie did something wrong, no, it doesn't. There was a clear power. The power dynamic was completely imbalanced between Diddy and Cassie. All Cassie had to offer Diddy was her body, and she knew he wanted that. And she loved him, so she would want to give that to him. And I do believe she hated the freak offs. But part of the freak offs was her time just being with Diddy. Question: for 30 mil, would you let a sex worker pee in your mouth? Holy. Excuse me. It's only Tuesday, okay? It's only two. Can you at least? No, no. Who said that? Eclectic soul. Can you at least take me out to coffee first? Mind you, I just met you. This is my first introduction to you. Absolutely. Anyway, and don't ever try to pop me like that while I'm on live. Cause see, what we don't do over here is lie. So we gonna act like we ain't gonna answer that. Absolutely. Okay. Moving right along. So she would initiate it. Cassie detailed, no, I'm not gonna block you. Cassie detailed being strung out on all the drugs. She said she had to be to engage like this. She didn't even know these folks, that they were flying in to be with her and to be with her without protection. She didn't even know them. So She would have to get zooted out of her mind, drunk and high to do it. And she said they did all the drugs. See, one thing I like about this case, hey, Brooklyn Beauty, hey, Black Power. One thing I like about this case, yeah, he paid her within 24 hours. He didn't want this smoke and still got it. One thing I like about this case is we are learning how much Diddy loves drugs and sex, and he's in jail unable to get a lot of that. Okay, so what I am loving is how every day them demons are beating the hell out of Diddy. Let's be very clear. Diddy went from having any and everything anytime he wanted it to being popped. Them demons are tearing Diddy's tail up. I mean, I'm talking about ever since they locked him up. Ever since they locked him up. Diddy willing to pay any amount of dollars to get out of jail. Because them demons in there tearing him up. Because he does not have access to his money and his power. And he cannot engage in all of the activities that he'd like to engage in. We'll get into it. So she said she even did she even took Viagra. Because Diddy's thing was, when we doing these freak offs, you need to have stamina. We're going to be at this for days. So if you need Viagra as a woman, you're going to have to take this Viagra. And she said she took it to get ready. And she even was forced to do them while on her monthly cycle. Around there looking like a crime scene. Okay. He got baby oil, blood, and candle wax. No wonder that man said when he came in that hotel, he told Diddy they gotta pay for the damage. Cause he had candle wax and blood and shit all over them people's furniture. They gotta throw that out. Child, anyway, child, she said he had her fill up a baby pool full of baby oil. You know, like that baby pool Deanna had in the back of her mama's house for her and her man. Her man. She filled up that baby pool and put it in her mama's backyard, raised that water bill $800 in July. Remember that? Well, Diddy had a version of that, but it was full of baby oil. Absolutely. See, here is the problem with Cassie's testimony. Here's the problem with Diddy. Yes, very nasty work. Here is the problem with Diddy. When they raided Diddy's house, Diddy had all that baby oil. You need 1,000 bottles if you filling up baby pools. You need 1,000 bottles. The problem is, even when they popped, hey, Love Music, even when they popped Diddy recently and raided his house, he still had that baby oil. What does that tell you? That tells me that even up until the day they got Diddy, Diddy was doing freak offs. Carisha, you are a lie and the truth ain't in you. The city girls, Carisha said, Diddy didn't pee on me. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And probably boo-booed on you too. Allegedly. I do believe that. And I do believe he had Miami doing freaky stuff. See, they went live and showed us Diddy buying Carisha all this stuff out of the Chanel store. That was probably right after he peed in her mouth. See, this is what I'm saying. All this stuff come at a price. I never look at anybody and envy them because I don't know what they did to get what they got. And some of us ain't willing to get peed on. We don't care if we never make it. I'd rather walk the tolled road. I'd rather take the slowest road there is than to have to stoop that low that I'm around here getting peed on, degraded, humiliated. You become soulless. Like, what the hell? What the helly? What the heliante? What the hell, Barry? Nah, hell no. Baby, I'd rather be broke. Okay, you ain't gonna do me. No, sir. No, ma'am. Absolutely. Anyway, child, Diddy was very nasty, and he never stopped doing the freak offs, even up until hey Vinny, then even up until they popped him. Cause why else did he have all them bottles of baby oil? This is what he liked. He liked for you to super soak yourself in baby oil and call over escorts and watch y'all get down while he pleasures himself. That was his thing. But he ran it like it was a movie scene. This is why it took so long. See, Diddy would have pissed me off. Okay, I would have been there to poke him a few times with a butter knife. Absolutely. Because all that, listen. If it take all this to turn you on, are you freaking kidding me? That mean the thing is broke, is dead. The balls, excuse me, but your balls is dead. If you gotta you gotta warm up the baby or light the candles and get a baby tub and call an escort and sit in a corner in the dark and pull your thing out. If you gotta do all that and then beat up when you finish and do all that, you gotta do all that, your thing is broke, is dead. Okay. And then you dealing with a young tenderoni and you still need all that, something wrong with it. Women, don't let no man make you do all that thinking, oh, I gotta do all this to please him. No, it's unpleasable. It's dead on arrival. Limp, done, dead. Absolutely. Because if he gotta do all that, girl, they said last for days, you need an IV drip. Come on now. We could have been ate breakfast, been shopped, and been back at work on Monday. And he's still over in the corner. The whole weekend done passed, and Diddy been in the corner since Friday. The devil is a lie. I would have been, get out of here. He been sitting over there for 48 hours. Girl, I don't get it. See, this is why I say it's demonic. It don't take all that. Come on now. Come on now. It does not take all that. See, I think it took all that for Diddy because Diddy wanted the man. I bet you if that man had walked up to Diddy and did him like that, it would have been over. Freak off done. It took all that because Diddy really wanted a man. A man that abuses women. Look how he treats women. Look how evil and controlling. A lot of these men that hate women is because they want a man, and that's okay. Just go get one. But instead of Diddy going to get him a man, he used Cassie as his bridge to see penis. He would tell Cassie, describe it, what it looked like. He want to sit and watch it. He would control it, do it like this, put it over there. He did all that he want. And then Cassie said, child, that first of all, if the man didn't finish, read between the lines. If the escort didn't finish, Diddy would deduct money off the pay. Because the escort charged him by the hour, but Diddy would get to deduct it. Because Diddy needed that finish. Because Diddy would then take Cassie in another room and take that man's fluids. Wherever it was on Cassie, in her or on her, Diddy would want those fluids rubbed on his chest. So I said last night that when that other guy testified, when the escort testified, he testified that him and Diddy never touched each other. So I even spoke to the fact that, well, that kind of cancels those gay allegations. Well, the gay allegations are back tonight. The gay, because ain't nowhere in the world a man wants another man's fluids anywhere on him, and he ain't gay. I'm sorry. Or bi. It ain't no. And then he want to watch it and do all this, and then he want Cassie to describe the man's private area. Don't no man want to do all that. That ain't into men's. Okay, it is what it is. So Cassie is about that. I mean, Diddy about that life, that he used Cassie as a bridge to connect him with all these different men. That's what was going on. And when she didn't want to do it, he beat her. See what I'm saying? He wanted this so bad that she paid for it with her body. He would beat her. Come on now. It ain't that. How is it that serious? Unless what you really, really want is a man. Absolutely. Um, who child? She said the longest freak off they had was for 4 days, and they did it weekly. They did this weekly for years. Weekly for years. And she had to be perfect. Hair had to be perfect. Nails had to be perfect. See, when you don't want a woman, you scrutinize everything about her. You could find something wrong with anybody that you don't like. Absolutely. Why she gotta be perfect? I don't trust that. Come on now. We live in a real world. Ain't nobody perfect, but for Diddy, with his sick controlling self, he let that fame and money go to his head. Absolutely. And he thought he could create, he basically made that lady a sex slave. Okay. And this is where the sex trafficking comes in at. See, I was waiting for them to show me the money. I was waiting for them to show me the money. Where is the sex trafficking? This is where it's at. Because check this out. If Cassie said no one time, that's sex trafficking. I mean, grape. If there was one time Cassie did, well, and sex trafficking too. Yeah. If there was any time Cassie that Diddy wanted her to do something with somebody and she didn't want to do it and she said no even one time, that's enough for him to go to jail. And then he made her do it anyway, that's enough for him to go to jail. Regardless of how many times she agreed, regardless of how many times, the moment she got tired, and she clearly got tired, the moment she got tired and said, I don't want to do this anymore, when it comes to the sex trafficking charge, that's where he's popped. Number two, it is against the law to fly escorts out to have sex and pay them. I was looking for the paid prostitution and all that. It is against the law to fly escorts out to have sex and then pay them. And where Diddy is popped at, all the payments came from Diddy. All the payments came from Diddy. Hey, Cameo. Cameo said, why does she keep going back? I'm not trying to victim shame, but I just can't grasp. Well, Cameo, if you've ever been in a domestic violence relationship, you would understand. It's out of sheer fear. Fear. They brainwash you and scare you. And they could be at work and you could be at home and you would never call the police on them. You would never do anything out of sheer fear. That's why. Yeah. And then she was young and thought she was in love. Absolutely. But even old women, domestic violence doesn't have an age on it. And there are patterns, regardless of what age you are. All of them experience the same thing. Sheer fear of leaving. That's why they don't leave. They think even if they left, he's going to find me and he's going to murder me. And that's for women that they boyfriend ain't even Diddy. Imagine if your guy Diddy and he's threatening you. Absolutely. Child, this is something else. So that's how they arrived at the sex trafficking, because Cassie said there were times she did not want to do it and she would tell him no, and then that's when she would get beat down, and that was what we saw in that video. That was one of the times Cassie said no and tried to get away, because you heard the security guard say when he went into Diddy's room, he saw the escort or the man sitting on the bed. And we know from the video, Cassie was running. And then Diddy chased her. That's kidnapping. She didn't want to do it. That's sex trafficking. The man was flown in, paid prostitution. Y'all see how they lining this up? And see, I was wondering how, I knew Cassie's testimony was going to be major, right? But I needed them to draw those lines for me. How do you get from a domestic violence relationship to sex trafficking? This is how. Because she didn't want to do it. Damn it. That's how. Okay? That's how. Child, so Diddy thought he was Tyler Perry and was around there choreographing whole 3 and 4 day movies, directing movies and scenes and having them act out stuff. Um, what else? Oh, Diddy told his staff when he wanted to get an escort, he would call his staff and say, "Fly this one in for this a new artist. This a new artist. I need y'all to fly him in. I need y'all to." It is just so happened all of the new artists that they was flying in under this guise. This is a new artist. All these artists just happen to have massive, you know what's, because Diddy liked them like that. After the bigger the better, okay, for Diddy. So all of them happen to have that in common, all of his new artists. So we're trying to understand, where's the racketeering? Because for them to prove racketeering, you got to prove that there was an organized web of people helping this stuff happen. You had people making phone calls, people making payments, you know, all this. You got to prove that there was a network of people involved. So if Diddy is lying to his staff, telling them fly them out for this reason, that doesn't prove a network. Why? Because his staff didn't know that he was actually flying them out for sex. They didn't know that. They thought they were flying, you know, these folks out because Diddy want to hear them sing, child. Oh, child. Diddy, see, I want to touch on this right here because, see, to hear all this sick stuff that is being said in this courtroom, hearing that your daddy like other men's fluids on him, hearing that your daddy is a disgusting freak, why in the hell, and I'm trying not to cuss, but why in the world would Diddy allow his daughters to sit in there? And their mother is deceased, and there's a big conspiracy that he got something to do with it. Why are the Combs twins sitting in the courthouse listening to their daddy be a big nasty freak? I can understand that. After today, I totally get it. I totally understand why this man is subjecting his young children to this foolishness. Why he is, I fully understand after today why this man is letting his daughters hear how he abused women. Even his own team acknowledges that Diddy is a monster. I couldn't understand why he wanted his daughters in there. Today I know, and I'm gonna tell you why. Thank you, Love Music. So Johnny Mac wasn't the only one lying about new artists. No, show one. Hey, Dovey. Diddy was trying to show to the court that they are a close family. I present he's actually that desperate. After what Cassie testified to, and it was my belief that her testimony was going to be 80% of this case, is going to make this case, make or break this case by at least 80%. And she came all the way through today. It is my belief that Diddy, and we haven't even gotten to the freaking tapes. We haven't even gotten, they gonna show the tapes that they took out of his house when they raided him. We haven't even gotten there. It is my belief that Diddy is that desperate. Diddy knows he's in trouble. He knows it's over. It's that bad. He knows it's over so bad that he's willing to let his daughters sit in there to try to show the court any way he could get the court's sympathy. If he could get any mercy, he doesn't care if his daughters got to hear whatever they got to hear. As you can see, he does not care. Why? Because he knows he's done. And instead of saying, I'm done, And even if I'm not done, I am not, this trial is not televised. Why would I am not gonna let my girls sit in here and listen to this. Because the only way they gonna know what's said is if they come or go online. But I'm not gonna let them come in here unless I know I am done. And I'm so desperate that you know what, even though under normal circumstances, I know this is trash. He went out of his way to keep all this a secret, y'all, right? Diddy didn't want nobody to know all this stuff about him. Okay? So to see him have his whole family in there, it says to me, he knows he's done and he has to pull out. He doesn't have the luxury of not having every single close family member in the building. He don't got the luxury. It's not an option for Diddy because Diddy's done. Okay. Child, they said Diddy and the escort was urinating in Cassie's mouth at the same time. And she was about to drown. She was so high out of her mind. She laid out on the floor and they just urinating in her mouth. You letting your daughter sit and listen to that? Yeah, because you know you're done. That's why. You know it's a wrap. Armand Wiggins said that Cassie is just a shell of a person. She has been abused so badly by Diddy that she's literally just a shell. Like, you could get so abused that you lose your soul. It literally will take. See, I believe from hearing what Armand said about Cassie today, I believe that the only thing that could help Cassie is if Jesus. And I'm not just saying that to be cliche. I mean that. Because Diddy, that demon in Diddy attached itself to Cassie when her frontal lobe wasn't even fully developed. She wasn't even 25 yet. She was still learning if she ought to wipe front to back or back to front. Use Dove or what else, something else down there. Come on now. It made sure it got her early. And when you mess up somebody's life when early in life, the rest of their lives is spent trying to repair that, unfortunately. It's not like we could just erase our memories and forget. Like your whole being remembers everything that happened to you that was traumatic. And it responds to the trauma. They said Cassie broke down in tears today. I said, oh, he's done. The last one that broke down in tears, Megan Thee Stallion, you see what happened to Tory. When the woman get on the stand and cry, baby. So to answer the question of tonight's live, did Cassie's testimony help or hurt Diddy? I present to you Cassie's testimony destroyed Diddy today. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. She's going to get cross-examined tomorrow. Listen, one thing I thought about, I said, now this trial is going to go up until the 4th of July. So we got to wait. I said, they sure brought Cassie on early. And I know it's because she's pregnant and they don't want her to have a baby in the courtroom. Okay. And they end up having to name the baby Bailiff. That was corny. Anyway, I like it. So they went on and put her up there. But my concern was, is the jury going to remember all these details? It's May still, and this ain't going to end till July. They put her up so early. Her testimony weighs so much on the case. Is the jury going to remember all this stuff when it's time to deliberate? I think they will. Then my other thing is, if they brought her up this early and this is about to go all the way to July, what else we about to learn? Because, normally folks like to say the best for last. I said, holy, them tapes. I got my eye on them tapes. If those tapes show Cassie high out of her mind, it's over. because they're going to say you cannot consent when you that high. And it was Diddy. Diddy introduced her to drugs. Diddy. He destroyed her life. He destroyed this young woman's life. What a freaking monster. I pray that that sort of demon never finds me. I don't never want to be so in love that I become delirious and I lose myself. But it happens. You can't, I don't take it lightly because it literally happens. And the very people that be talking, oh, that could never happen to me. I would never say that could never happen to me. Because the bond and the power of love is real. And when people think they found that, they are willing to do anything to keep it. Po Cassie. Shall I will put up my poll, but shall Diddy is popped. Okay. I will be reporting tomorrow because the other side is gonna tear down everything we heard today. They gonna make it seem like, Cassie, you were there, you wanted it, you liked it. So I'm looking forward to see what comes out tomorrow. They got Brian Steele on the case. I want to know if he's going to cross-examine her and get into some things. I think he is. Thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. Thank you to everyone that supports the channel. I am enjoying this Diddy trial coverage. It is a mess. Very interesting to get a peep into this world, this celebrity world. When you have everything, what would you do? When you got it all, what do you do in your freaky time? Diddy took it to the extreme. Okay. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to my beautiful moderators, Kilo Low, Blue to Fire, and Firefly. Sending prayers to Sarkonos. Shout out to the Babe Nation spokeswoman, Brenda, and all of the babes in the building. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Have a good night, everybody. See y'all tomorrow. Peace.